I told you so, 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 and I told you so. Who would have seen it coming? Who would have seen the results of last night's by-election coming? Who would have seen Andy Burnham, who apparently is extremely popular up north, who would have seen Andy Burnham absolutely sweeping the by-election? Restore being absolutely battered, and Reform showing themselves up massively. Who would have seen that one coming? Who would have guessed? Who would have analysed that that would be the situation? It's almost like somebody had been saying for weeks, somebody had been saying since the by-election was called, Burnham's going to win because he's extremely popular up north, and that's going to be a significantly bad thing for our base when he wins. Wow, I'm shocked. I am so shocked. Look, I'm going to say this very nicely. I have seen everybody coping online all day, people attacking me all day, and it's funny because all I said was this was inevitable, and the response is, fuck you, you're an ankle biter, faggot, kill yourself, you're a traitor, all of these things. No, I'm just smart. You people are fucking retarded. Obviously this was going to happen. Stop listening to the Lotus Eaters. 20%, Restore's going to get 20%. Yeah, how's that 20% now, Carl Benjamin? How's that 20% now, Lotus Eaters? And I was saying this, and I said yesterday, they're going to get crushed. And I was told, Hugh, you're blackpilling. Hugh, you're doomer-minding. Hugh, you're blackpilling. No, we're going to win. It's going to be fine. But I told you, and I told you because I could see where it was going. I could see the inevitability of the situation. And everybody else is shocked. Everybody else is, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. The Lotus Eaters they're grasping for some form of savior. They're like, no, it's fine. We got 7%, guys. 6.8%. We got 7%, guys. It's fine. And it's almost like they're just desperate because they know they fucked up. It's almost like, am I good now? My focus is, my camera's playing up today. I'm not even live on X. I don't know why. But it's almost like they are paid by Restore to give you propaganda and stupid fucking analysis. It's almost like that 20% figure was pulled out of their arse. It's almost like, I told you yesterday, they may tell you on the door that they're going to vote for you, but when the ballot paper's in front of them, they won't vote for you. Stop watching Lotus Eaters. Stop listening to what they say. It is bullshit. They are talking bullshit. This is why I'm not surprised. This is why everything I have said has come true. Everything that I said has come into fruition. It exists now in our political spectrum. Do you remember how I said Restore has a horrible candidate? Scott Benton was a terrible appointment, that there is no camera work from Rebecca Shepherd, that she doesn't even read the policy. Do you remember when I said all of that yesterday? And everyone was like, how dare you publicly attack the candidate? At least she's trying. Do you remember when I said it was Alistair's fault? Because he makes all decisions, keeps her off camera. Do you remember how I said that Scott Benton is a bad figure in Restore and it puts people off? Do you remember how I said that? And everyone was attacking me for that? Everybody was blasting me for that. Everybody was saying that I was being an arsehole for no reason for that. Guess what? Now all of those people that were saying that have come out agreeing with me. Agreeing with my exact talking point. Do you want to see something really funny? I think before we get into anything major, I just want to show you this one thing, which I find utterly hilarious. Here is Connor Tomlins, who is a moron, by the way, and I will say that I don't care about saying that, with extremely large ears. Here's him after shilling Restore for so long using the exact talking point that I said on yesterday's stream before the announcement. Watch this.
And I think they've underperformed because Rebecca Shepherd wasn't a very strong candidate. Because she was weak on camera, she wasn't very rhetorically sharp, she didn't actually bother to read any of the policies. A lot of people were voting Restore because of Rupert. And that's just a fact. And so the person that chose Rebecca Shepherd as the candidate shouldn't be making those decisions in future. The person that was, blocking her from doing media interviews because they were so worried about her being weak shouldn't be making those decisions. The decision-making capacity should be dispersed across a few sensible people in the team rather than concentrated in whoever made that decision. And also, it means that hiring Scott Benton to help run the campaign wasn't such a great idea after all. The recycled former Tory dog's body, no matter how lower functionary he wasn't a sensible idea to have on because he didn't do well enough to excuse him being there on purely Machiavellian terms. So I think there's reason to be discouraged.
Bar for bar. Bar for bar. He said what I said yesterday, bar for bar. She doesn't know the policy. She's like a deer in headlights. Alistair Harrison's making the decisions. Scott Benton's bad. People are voting for Rupert, not for her. Bar for bar. Big Ears said exactly what I said yesterday. After weeks and weeks and weeks of everybody ignoring me, everybody telling me that I'm ankle biting, everybody calling me a subversive, the second they fail, now apparently I was right, but they're not going to give me credit for that. They're not going to give me credit for that. They're going to tell you, oh, well, actually, we can deal with these things. We can deal with all these situations. It's not because Hugh could see it coming. It's not because Hugh warned us about it. It's because we got 7%, guys. That's great. We got 3,000 votes. Oh, my gosh, 3,000 votes. We're going to win the general election. Oh, Hugh has a doomer mindset. Oh, Hugh's just being pessimistic. He's ankle biting. He's being subversive. He's being a contrarian. No, I'm being real. I'm being realistic. I'm being critical because I can see the problems. And then they deny it and deny it. And we're going to get 20%, guys. It's going to be fine. But we're going to come second. We're going to beat Reform. In what fucking world was that even going to happen? And now all of a sudden, now that they lost, guess what everybody's like? Everybody's turning around and they're coping. They're coping so badly. I put out a tweet. Remember that clip where I basically say, here's what's going to happen. Burnham wins next Thursday. After that, he will then become Prime Minister. After that, you'll see him starting to appeal to the North, talking about HS2, talking about infrastructure, talking about business investments and reindustrialization. And then you'll see them do better at the next year's local elections and the beginning of the Red Wall gets rebuilt. Then after that, you will see the Conservatives start to do better in 2028 local elections. And you'll probably end up with a Reform Conservative coalition in 2029 because they do not have enough to form a majority government so they can actually try and keep the left wing out of power. That is what I predicted. We're on track for everything I said. Everything I said is coming true. Everything. The Conservatives won Aberdeen South last night. I thought the Tories were dead. You've all been telling me the Tories are a dead party and that I'm being crazy. Even though I'm telling you they're polling at 17 to 19% average nationwide. You've all been telling me that the Tories are dead and that they're not going to win any more elections. They just took Aberdeen South off of the SNP. Doesn't seem very dead to me. Kind of seems like the Tories are still kicking. Kind of seems that they're still there somewhere. So everybody doubting me, everybody telling me I'm crazy, everybody that's now attacking me because their form of attack is trying to insult me, call me a faggot, call me a Fuentes cosplayer, call me all of these things. I'll tell you what I am, a political fucking analyst. I can analyze politics. I am an analyst. I can help. But sure, counter-signal me, attack me, try and prove yourself better than me. I dare you. I dare you. I was right about the local elections, and people still can't grasp that. They can't grasp the understanding about the local elections. And if you can't, I can't help you. You legitimized Reform, which meant subsequently you've also hammered Restore's vote because people are going to get to the ballot paper, like I said yesterday, look at it and go, Restore or reform? Reform have a track record of at least winning some elections and are a nationwide party. Restore have only done it in Great Yarmouth and only have Rupert Lowe. It's probably the safer bet to go for reform because they just sweep the local elections. So you probably hindered your own vote anyway. But also, why did Labour start having an internal battle? That's because they lost so badly at the local elections that everybody started rebelling against Starmer to the point where Josh Simmons stood down in Makerfield thinking, we need a new leader because everybody's rebelling against Starmer now. In walks Andy Burnham. I said, shit, he's going to walk it. He's a danger to nationalists. He's a danger to the right wing because what he will do is suck up the white working class vote up in the north because he will try and appeal to the north. And what did he spend his speech yesterday talking about whilst accepting his candidacy? He said, and I quote, we need to talk about the north-south divide, and we can't do that unless we bring it back to Westminster. He is going to appeal to the white working class vote in the north and rebuild the uni party. I have been telling you this for weeks. I warned you about the local elections for months and I was ignored. I was called every name under the sun. I was called a subversive and I was fucking right. Anybody that counter-signals me from now on, I am going to walk over you. I am going to step a fucking foot over you. Because frankly, you're wrong. I'm saying this not to be a prick, believe it or not. It doesn't actually feel amazing to have to be like, haha, told you so, because I know that we're on a losing streak right now. But I'm saying it so you don't make the same mistakes. So people don't get in the mindset about, we're going to be very fine right now. We're going to be fine. Don't worry about it, guys. We're going to be fine. I warned you. I warned you. Get your apology forms out. Sign it. Tick the fucking boxes. Shut the fuck up and get in line. I'm not saying it to be a prick. I'm saying it because I know exactly how this plays out. I know what Burnham's like. All of these people telling me, Burnham's not popular. Burnham's not... All these southern fucking wankers telling me, Burnham's not... No one cares about Burnham. 54% of the vote. Clear majority. Burnham's not popular. The second he's now been elected as an MP, they're already telling Starmer to resign. He's looking at resigning this weekend because of Burnham. But Burnham's not popular. You have to be living under a rock. Genuinely. To think that I'm, like, crazy in this situation, you're a moron.